for another news update and shit. A lot of shit.
And cats. So what is new? Several things.
My scenario?
Yeah, so let's start by the Alliance conspiracy. It's really the only thing that is really new. The other things are not quite new. So let's talk about the Alliance conspiracy
And why people should buy it.
Yeah. So you start because it's your scenario.
Yes.
I just
Well,
did
it's a
the historical research.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I did the historical research and a bit of the rules and tables.
So the idea was to do an adventure taking place, well, not really during the Dreyfus Affair, but related
It's
to
still
the Dreyfus Affair.
At the time, I think it ends only in the 909 or 906. I'm not sure, but it's 9 or 6.
But it was also because when we did Epoch, some people mentioned that we should have more Dreyfus. We already talked about this in the last video, so I will not repeat it too much. I don't want to bore people too much. But another influence for that was Umberto Eco, The Cemetery of Prague. That is a book about conspiracies that focus in the protocols of the Elders of Zion.
Yeah, that's the most important. It talks about lots of conspiracies there, but that one is the most important because the forger is the character. I can't remember the name of the character now, but he's the forger. Well, he's a forger. He forges many other things, but he also does the protocols himself.
So in that scenario, you're going to find a lot of historical research, accurate. We hope, yes.
Yes, I hope it is.
Historical research, plot hooks, a conspiracy generator. That's something that I always have fun with because we've tried it for several.
Similar to the other ones that we already did, but adapted to the time.
I think they're always fun because you just
I'm not sure if
then you need to connect things.
Yeah, they won't. I can't say that they are easy to use because you have to create a story to that, but. It's not immediate. It's not something that you can just rule on it. Well, you can, but if you just do the rule at the time,
yes, you need some time to make it to make sense.
Yeah, but to make sense.
It doesn't really have to make sense, exactly.
It doesn't really have to make
sense.
Sense.
Considering that, I wrote a story that is an investigation. If I can talk a little bit about it. So it's a murder case. An important figure will die, a politic. That is very pro. How am I gonna say?
He's a Dreyfus art.
Yes, exactly. He's a Dreyfus art.
He's on the side of Dreyfus.
He's a progressive, and he's a progressive.
Oh, progressive, but not in the bad sense.
Yes, in that time.
Or maybe in the bad
in the
sense.
time of in the
at
in
the
the
time
sense
he
of
was
that
still
time.
not woke.
And he's going to be murdered by his aide.
Which is a Jew.
Yes, incidentally.
And, in this case, not incidentally, because the purpose was to frame the Jewish people by. Well, okay, I'm talking too much now.
So then there
is a conspiracy about.
We can say that just the day after the murder hits the news, a series of leaflets called the Alliance Conspiracy, talking about a secret conspiracy of the Jews to rule the world, comes out. And are those two things connected?
And this is why. Yes. And this is the part that changes completely. We can't make an analogy to nowadays because in this case the progressive he died, yes, but he was a friend of the Jewish guy, and he was his tutor and his boss. And
yes, mentor.
And mentor, and he was on the side of the Jewish intellectuals and Dreyfus. And the bad guys were on the other side, on the anti-Semite side. Nowadays, the progressives are the bad guys, the Nazis. Can we say Nazis? Yes, we can. Most people don't say Nazis on YouTube, but I don't care. No one watches anyway, so...
Yeah, we can say whatever we want. There's a liberty.
I'm not going to say the bad guys of World War II because this is before the World War II.
So basically the adventure is an investigative adventure where the character should always get 1 minute too late to the next step of the adventure. Oh, that person already died.
but it's still not. It's still a sandbox.
Yes, it is. It is a
There's lots
sandbox.
of,
The event there are. It's very it's a very loose adventure, and I
Yeah.
think the fact that I took some time to finish
There
it was
are one of the
because
murders that
it was exactly that I was leaving it very vague, but it was an investigative mystery at the same time. So I was like, is this ready?
Yeah, there's lots of plot hooks that you can use to make this longer and insert other conspiracies, other things that are
Other
going
factions
on at
that
the
are going on
time.
at the
Yeah.
time.
Because since this is about all the Dreyfus affair is still going on, is not in the clear yet, and the consequences of it are still going on as well. So anti-Semitism, and not just that, other consequences.
And because this also takes is a crossover with the Invisible College, you can also use the lore. Of course, that part of the lore, because the Invisible College
Lots of things aren't
haven't
don't
existed
at
yet.
the time,
Exactly.
So,
So
it's
I
few...
yes, I just left there the ones that existed. But for example, the Rosicrucians, they already are mentioned in Epoch.
Yeah. So
in the Illuminati.
The ones that are real, or at least not original, they are already so you just have to pick them up, and then you can use the wretched factions and the real world factions and the Invisible College factions, and you can just we can even say that you can just use this the part that is a scenario as a backdrop and focus on other stuff, because the scenario itself is about half of the book,
Yes.
or maybe even less, because some of the things that are on that half aren't actually the story of the scenario, or just plot hooks that can be used, and the other part is background and information about
Yeah, so although this is a scenario, this is at the same
It's
time
more
it's
of a
also a
campaign
toolkit,
setting.
a campaign setting,
Yeah,
a
it's
small
more
campaign
I
setting.
would call it a campaign setting.
You
Campaign
don't have
setting for
places
playing
because it's
Invisible
Paris,
College
in Paris in that time. Yes.
Even though obviously there is some information about Ratchet as well, because we don't know if you are picking up the game and the campaign setting while having already purchased or read the book or not.
Exactly.
Maybe it was you can just use it for another game. It's irrelevant. The information is there anyway. So this is the new game product for Ratchet and possibly Invisible College or any other game that takes place at that time.
Well, Call of
Call of
Cthulhu doesn't take place at that
yeah.
time. Well, yes, it does take place whenever.
Yeah, it takes place whenever you want it. I don't know if they still do that, but there were source books for playing Call of Cthulhu in different times. There was a Cthulhu by Gaslight, which was in
Now
in
all
Victorian-
Cthulhu is all by Gaslight.
the progressive Gaslight, yes. But well, and there was a 1990s. Obviously, that's because I played it in the 1990s. But there were source books. Probably it's not going. It's not. They didn't do new versions of those books because they're offensive, obviously. Okay, so you play it. You can attach it to any different games. Other news. Not quite new, but we did some revisions in several scenarios. I don't have them here, but we got
they're
them,
already there.
they're
Okay, then I'm gonna get them.
we got them in print this week, so let's try to remember them. Insanitarium,
Bastard King,
Bastard
In Wretched Depravity, yes. Tears of Belphegor, Cold Heart Canyon.
There's one of the more, well, there's also the Memorial.
Memorial and
Orphan
Orphan Lofts.
Lofts. And I think there's one missing because they are 8. But okay, so well, these are the ones, and if you're missing some other, it was mentioned before. So those are in print now, and they look much better, and they have the new rules, new illustrations. Well, new rules. They aren't new anymore, but
They were
new 1 year ago.
the second version of the rules.
And new illustrations, also AI obviously, but better. And I did some changes in the layout as well. Fixed some issues. So this is this is in print now, and there's also at our store a bundle. I don't usually create bundles because they don't work like bundles in a real store. Where if you bought 3 or 4 books there, you will have to pay the full price of the bundle. So, but in this case, since it's a bunch of scenarios, and I think there are 8 scenarios, and the price is less than 50%, I thought, well, I guess this can be even if you have purchased 1 or 2 or 3, maybe it might still be worth it to buy the bundle. So it's not a permanent, it's a temporary thing. It will be there a month or so, and then I'll take it away.
Until you remember to take it away.
Yeah, well, it might be there 2 months or 3 or 6, but it's supposed to be temporary. So this is all these scenarios that I mentioned, and maybe one more, are in this bundle, and the physical copies are at lulu.com as usual. And that's the second kind of news, not really news, but in the YouTube channel we haven't spoken about this yet. Next thing. Next week, I think, yes, very likely, the Armageddon Volume 1, which will be called War. It's very original.
War or the war?
No, just War.
Okay.
Don't mention the war.
Okay. War never changes. I know I can't say that.
I can't say that. Or we'll have to start babbling stupid things about Trump. Okay, so let's not mention the war. Wretched Armageddon, first volume. I still have the layout to do, but I already have a cover, kind of. Well, we need to choose the one of the versions. If you use Twitter, you can take a look at that, or Discord, our channel. There are 3 options to be chosen. Jeremy Hart did the cover. He will do the cover for the second book as well. So I'm going to do the layout in the next days, but the book is finished and edited, so it will be probably a quick thing. If not next week.
Of course, it is. Will you working 10 hours a day,
yeah, so
including weekends?
It will. I'm a bit slower. I've been a bit slower now,
Yeah.
but I'm expecting to pick up speed again. So this is it. Wretched Armageddon. This will be, so the first volume will be just covering World War II. Of course, it's not the exact same thing as the real World War, because there will be supernatural situations. There will be supernatural creatures and magic and all that, as usual in the Wretched verse, but a little bit more than usual, or it's supposed to be a little bit more than usual, because this is the first step into the second volume. Of course, if you don't plan to use that, you can just play a normal Weird War campaign. But if you are planning on using the second part, this could be used even as a campaign setting.
To introduce
there
the second
are
part.
Yeah. So there are seven seals that are going to be broken in different segments of the war. Let's just say that the Hiroshima bomb is one of the last ones. You have Stalingrad as well, and the last seal is the first seal is even before the war, when the Nazis go to Tibet. There are several in the middle. Every time one of these seals is broken, what happens? Well, the Devourer gets closer to our dimension, to our realm, reality, whatever you want to call it. And eventually it will open up the gates, and all the demons will cross. Well, not all, but many demons will cross. Well,
That's the demon trying to
the video cat is coming.
Let
Video
me go.
cat. She had a surgery.
Yes, so she is a bit... Okay, Keshvi? Yeah, she needs help, so she just stole my shirt. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes, her cats are spoiled.
Yeah. Well, this one is.
She's sick, so...
Yeah, she's
Well, she's
recovering.
not sick anymore. She's
in recovery
recovering,
now.
yes.
She'll probably jump to my lap.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to do that.
Okay. She's here now. Okay. She's feeling better. So this will be the next thing, next week probably. And I'm not sure if I mentioned doing the second volume. I was planning on doing it right after finishing the first one. But then I have to take on second thoughts because I thought that maybe it will be too close, and then for me as well. I'll probably not probably, I'm sure no. It will not be the next thing right next.
So what will be the next thing, Miguel?
You don't have
I
to
know,
ask.
but I'm asking.
I'm going to pick up the idea that I mentioned before several times. Darker, the horror game that will be not quite Ratchet. It will be based on the rules for Ratchet, but not exactly the same
Because you don't
rules.
want to invent your own system and another system,
so
and
the
that's
basis,
just stupid.
the basis will be Ratchet rules. It will still be kind of compatible with OSR, but not exactly. I will change the names of the attributes to the original ones, but not entirely. Some of them I will keep them. So brains will be intelligence again, because brains are just to be more Ratchet. Wisdom will become wits, will be still wits, because I don't like wisdom.
Yeah.
Strength will be strength. Muscle was one of the things that would change to be more Ratchet. And the other ones, I'll think about them. Maybe toughness sounds better than constitution.
I don't like constitution.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
How is your constitution?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. So toughness will still be used. Magnetism probably not. I think charisma works, and probably I'll drop sex appeal because that's the dumb stat. So these are the changes, and not just these ones. I'll probably give more thought to fear and insanity. I have had some suggestions. One of them was to have a stress mechanic, a bit like Alien and other games like that. So I will use that.
That makes sense in an horror game.
Yeah, and someone told me about the increase in hit points, which I think I agree in this case. So they increase per level. So there will be no levels, so there will be no increase. Skills will have to increase, and now I'm thinking about using a mechanic based on the use of skills. So, like, maybe if you have a critical hit or something like that, you add a point, something like that. Not like so there are no perhaps not experience to drop entirely the experience points, and
but not levels.
Drop the levels, not the levels of the skills, but the experience points, perhaps, and not having using experience points to improve things. So lose all that thing. If you want to improve stuff, so for example, if you want to improve attributes, you have to do something about that. If you go to a gym, you can improve your strength. If you take a course, you might improve your, not intelligence probably, but you can improve
your knowledge about something, your academics. Yes. Are you going to have one-on-one time?
Is that?
No, that's a joke.
Incel time, is that what you mean? No. This will be a game for adults, not for kids. That's another thing, mature game. This one will be a really mature game, so there will be...
So none of those silliness in darkness?
Yes,
darkness.
I want to keep some of the factions, or at least the ideas behind them, but not exactly. And another thing that we can already reveal, I was thinking about this one. This one
is very problematic.
Yes,
that would be very problematic.
This is very so. If you are still watching this video, you will pick up you will learn about the most problematic thing about this game, which will be called Still Darker, because that was the original idea, and because we have already published a Darkness, so this will be darker.
Makes sense.
In comparison to Darkness. So the idea is, even though I prefer horror to take place in the 90s, I will base this one in the current days. and a lot of the how can I say this, bad guys,
The lore.
the adversaries, the things going on will be based on cults, not just the supernatural. So there will be supernatural, obviously, the same supernatural kind of. Well, yeah, the same supernatural, not exactly the same that exists in Wretched Darkness, but most of it. Demons and.
Well, yes, you're going to change the Beyond, right? So it's
I'm
not
going to change the
exactly,
Beyond. It will not
because
be
it's
the
not
Beyond.
going to be the same, because it's not just the same game with a different mechanic.
Yeah,
So you
so
need to change.
The Beyond will not be the Beyond. There will be a Hell, perhaps. Probably I'll call it that. Maybe give it some other name, but it will be the same thing as Hell. But probably most of the game will be about cults. So the cults will be demon worshippers, pedophiles, cannibals, ritualistic murderers,
Gaia lovers.
Gaia worshippers. So the real world, basically.
Mm-hmm. What about the cannibal pedophiles?
Yes, you can use the different ones and then mix them together. I'm thinking about something that the real world as well, yes, but also
the things happening, the weird things happening in the real
kind
world.
Of thing, that kind of cult.
Yeah. You just made me realize that maybe I'm gonna put that's my scenario on the drawer, because it should make more sense to be for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Or not on the drawer, but changing it.
You can do it for.
Yes.
You can do it for this game, and it could be
because it doesn't make sense for it to be because it goes with the idea of the cults.
Well, we are doing this on not live but almost live. Okay, so that can be, if you want, that can be the introductory scenario for the game.
Makes sense.
For the game, yeah. In this case, it will be a game because the rules will be included in this. And there will be some other things from Darkness that I will use, but give them less space, like recommendations for playing different genres. Because this is supposed to be as well a game that can be played in different ways. But I'm going to give it a specific setting for this. Not Hammetville, obviously, it will be the real world, so the Hammetville, the Wretched Cities will not be used. So this will be, in a way, I can say that this will be kind of the anti-cult, I guess. And like I was thinking, so because cult was even in the Genesis, it was kind of Gnostic, and in this case, well, the thing is going to be there because these cults are part of that postmodern stuff, but in that one, God was their God, Demiurge, was dead, disappeared, or whatever, and in this case, yes, it's still
God is dead.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yes, God is kind of dead, and
but God is dead because people stopped believing in Him.
Yes.
So God is like a fairy. Tinkerbell.
Oh yes. But yeah, in this case, the cults, these cults that aren't actually worshipping deities, because in the game, they were worshipping deities. But these guys are not really worshipping deities. Then sometimes they make believe.
This is also
They're
very
Satan,
Marxist,
because
yeah,
it is.
Because you replace the idea, because it replaced, yes, if God doesn't exist, something else needs to replace it. So that's it
was replaced with silliness. The people who are now worshipping Gaia, they don't call it that. They say they are saving the climate. So basically, that's the thing. So it will be a series of conspiracy theories, which aren't really conspiracies or theories, but not just that, obviously, because the supernatural will have to exist, or this wouldn't be a horror game. And I'm not going to do a game just about the real world. That's not. I don't like that. But it does. I was trying not to do this, but it's impossible. This will have to reflect the real world. Ratchet will be safe from that, but this game will have to reflect the real world part of it, at least as an inspiration. Obviously, it will not be straightforward. There will be connections that do not exist, and maybe, or certainly, supernatural reflections that do not exist in the real world. At least I don't think they exist. And I think that's it. These are the news.
Mm-hmm.
So go buy the published stuff, The Lion's Conspiracy, and check out that bundle. Yes,
See
and if you think that some of those you would like to have them in the print-on-demand format, you can just go to Hulu and purchase them. They are looking much better now. And that's it for today.
Mm-hmm. Bye bye.
Bye bye.